And welcome back to Flowers. It's still summertime, and the last time we were together, we ended chapter 2. We experienced a harvest festival. We ate a lot of corn. I like me some corn. I will probably have some corn with barbecued spare ribs today. If anybody was curious, which today won't be your today. This will actually, I'm recording this on a Sunday. So whatever that is relative to where you are is the date that I will be having spare ribs. So you can be jealous or not. Whatever. What does this have to do with anything? Anyway, last time we were together again, we finished chapter 2, Harvest Festival, and Erika had a nice little conversation with Suo at the end to kind of push her along. So here's hoping that our girl can find some resolve to maybe start digging deeper into herself, kind of pick herself up a little bit, and just get to going with things. Need to light a little fire under her. She made so much progress in the spring, only to have it crash down. So hopefully, good girl Erika has lit enough of a fire to get her going again. So that Rapunzel. It's lunchtime. I gulp down my pre-meal pill. That is harder to read than you might think. Then pincer a bunch of noodles with my chopsticks, dump them in suyu dipping sauce, and slurp them down enthusiastically. I love that they actually took time to draw all of her different. I have a bowl just like this. This is a Pyrex bowl, isn't it? But I like that they took time to actually draw something different for her every time we have this CG. And then she's still just over here munching on some salad. The cold noodles slide down my throat, cooling me from the inside out. Man, cold noodles are so good. I know that might not sound good to a lot of people, but they're actually super, super, super dope. Really, really good. And really good in the summer. Absolutely. With summer at its zenith, I'm grateful for the refreshing taste of noodles and sauce alone. Yeah, I was about to say, you just eat salad. I don't even want to hear it from you. She takes her pill too, then starts on her salad. Well, I refer to it as salad, but it's really just a medley of summer vegetables. Bell pepper, cucumber, tomato, all harvested from the school grounds, lush, fresh, and certainly healthy. I think you could call anything that's just like a mixture of vegetables a salad, but you could also do that you can have a fruit salad, you can have a tuna salad. It's like salad is a very loose term, much like soup. You could just throw any kind of broth in a pan and throw whatever the fuck you want in there, and that's a soup. So let's not get too precious about food types, I guess. Just looking at the iced noodles sitting in their clear bowl seems to have a cooling effect. It never shows on her face, but the temperature seems to be taking its toll on my amitié partner. She's staring at my noodles covetously. I say this as though the event's already long gone, but not much time has actually passed, though the weather's changed dramatically. Back then it had been hot. Back then it had been hot too, but a quick rest in the shade of a tree made it fairly bearable. Now you break a sweat without lifting a finger. And that's not all that's changed. It seems that the talking to I gave her at the Harvest Festival has its desired effect. The strength has returned to her eyes, and she's finally back to being my usual bookworm buddy. Rika Hanabishi, who spends a lot of time with her, seems to have sensed it too. As have the Sasaki twins. They've all come by separately to thank me. I'd shrugged them off, feeling a bit self-conscious, but even Yatsushiro-senpai had been moved to thank me in her own roundabout way. It's made me realize just how fond everyone is of my bookworm buddy. And they're kind of fond of you too, if we're just being real here. It's just, you don't want to accept that yet. Which isn't exactly something I have myself.
氷、溶けてしまうわよ。ああ。
For a while, there's nothing to be heard beside the satisfying crunch of the salad vegetables, and the peculiarly, man, why peculiarly? That is a hard word to say. Why is that a hard word to say? Japanese sound of noodles being slurped.
どうした？まつげが目に入ったのよ。
I know how to fix this. Don't worry. She blinks rapidly. But her clumsy prodding fails to remove the offending eyelash, and tears well up in her eye as she rubs at it.
取ってやるよ。あなたが？嫌なら断ればいい。
I have really long eyelashes, and I run into this issue a lot. But she puts her fork down and settles herself in front of me with a simple, please.
ちょっと待ってくれよ。
I get her to sit down on the bed and then go over to my desk and bring her back some eye drops.
目薬なんて持っていたの？読書家にはマストアイテム。
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're reading as much as you're reading. Them eyeballs gotta be sore and strained quite a bit sometimes. I hand them over to her, but she just stares at them. Don't tell me.
お前、目薬さしたことないとか言うんじゃないだろうな。あるわ。ただ、自分でやったことがないだけよ。
Yeah, that's always a problem. Like, it took me probably years to be able to finally put eye drops in my own eye. It's because I found a way to, like, not have to look at it. Just roll your eye up as far into your head as you possibly can. I suppose people who never read books, even textbooks, don't really need them, whereas I administer them 2 or 3 times a day.
わかった。刺してやるから待ってろ。
I head over to her, amused at our sudden role reversal.
目力強いな。
Oh, you noticing? Yeah, she do got cute eyes. They're nice and deep.
早くして。
She thrusts the eye drops at me.
目を閉じるな。信じていいのね。そういう言葉はここ一番にとって。
That's it's a very ominous thing to say when you are trusting somebody with your eyes.
わかったわ。
She nervously opens her eyes. They still seem to be glaring across at me angrily.
そのままだ。
I squeeze a drop into them, and she shrinks back reflexively. Huh, she's trembling like a young girl, although I suppose that's fair enough, given that she is one.
パチパチさせてみろ。手じゃない。目をだ。そう。
Cute. Like that they actually did it with the sprite. I offer her a handkerchief as she tries blinking her eyes. Things have changed. We've passed from the warmth of early summer into the midsummer heat. And then there's Shirahane and...
バレエのことで聞きたいのだけど。何かしら？
The tense mood of just a month prior has, while not completely dissipated, eased, and some of our classmates now make an effort to talk with Takasaki.
変わったのは白羽だけじゃない。
We're all flowers in bloom, baby. It seems like a felicitous change has also occurred in my amitié partner, who people had previously gone out of their way to avoid.
あいつ、絶対一人ぼっちキャラのまま行くもんだと思っていたんだけどな。意地悪をしているわけではないからですよ。
That's Ringo. Apparently, having overheard me talking to myself, the younger Sasaki twin appears beside me and interjects knowingly.
初めは怖い人かと思っていましたけど。
I gaze across at Takasaki, who's now answering the girl's question, even if it's not with great enthusiasm.
突き放すような言い方も悪意や面倒だからでなく、ああいう話 話し方の人だと分かったからです。
And she's just kind of becoming more aware that she does come off as kind of blunt and cold, and maybe she's like working a little more on trying to be patient with people, and that's good progress. Progress didn't just peak with frozen pizza.
そうか、実際面倒くさがりだと思うぞ、お前みたいにさ。八重垣ちゃんも私のことを知ってくれているのですね。
That wasn't exactly a compliment. Why is she so happy? I don't get it.
ま、私とは違うんだ。一人くらいは友達ってやつを作っても罰は当たらないよな。八重垣ちゃんは八重垣ちゃんは特別な友達っているのですか？
Yeah, it's you! It's you! You adorable little apple girl! It's so forward, I can't help but chuckle Riley at myself.
まずいことを聞きましたかね。いや、そうじゃない。そうだな。友達ね。
I have a sudden urge to mess with the girl who's now gazing anxiously at me.
友達なら目の前にいるだろう。
Get her! Get her! Bless this little apple child! That should do it. That's a cute little surprised look.
お前だよ。私はそう思っていたんだけどな。嫌かい？
I declare my decision with a cynical smile reminiscent of Yatsushiro senpai. This is Ringo Sasaki. She'll understand that I'm joking.
嬉しいですよ、エリカちゃん。
Oh, once again, this is not a... Once again, you are so far into a joke now that you can't go further, and it would be kind of cruel to take this one back, so you're just kind of locked in now. Not that having Apple Girl as your best friend would be the worst. She seems like she'd be a real chill best friend. Yeah, you ain't getting out of it. She clasps my hand with an uncharacteristically earnest look on her face.
処置仲間の一人に加えてくれたのですね。
Oh. She's so overjoyed that I can't possibly tell her I was joking at this point, so I make my escape by promising to lend her a good book sometime soon. After I've gotten out of chatting with Ringo, I look over at my amitié partner's enthusiastic conversation.
ありがとう、高崎さん。
Well, all the enthusiasm was on the part of the other girl, but seeing Takasaki respond to her that much more pleasantly than before makes me feel somehow left behind.
こいつと私は違う。分かっちゃいるが。どうしたの？八重垣ちゃんと話し込んでいたのですよ。
Miracles do happen! Ringo goes on to tell her older twin about our earlier conversation, how I'd been saying it was strange that our classmates were beginning to accept Takasaki.
リンゴも言ってたみたいだけど、おかしくないよ。だって。
She brings up the hymns we sing in Bible class, and how Takasaki sings so beautifully in front of everyone without the slightest sign of nervousness, probably due to her previous work. And how her looks remind everyone of Mayuri Kosaka.
初めて歌ったんでしょ？それなのにすごく上手だし。
Yo, sick. I just found a dead pixel on my monitor. And don't even get me started on the ballet dancing.
一目置かれるのはさもありなんてやつか。
Yeah, girl's got a lot going for her that would make her easy to become popular. Oh, no, wait, that's not a dead pixel. That was just a graphic in game that looked misaligned. After completing their bar exercises, the class move on to the floor to practice. I watch Takasaki, who is performing her center work just as she did before. I'd always thought she had great posture, but
バレエの時は背骨に鉄骨でも入ってるみたいだな。鉄骨ってでも確かにすごいよね。立ち方からして違うもんね。
they say that athletes are a different breed altogether, and perhaps because of my only point of comparison is the girls in our class, I can't see that that's true. You can sense the weight of their bodies and their movements, but Takasaki's dancing seems to defy the pull of gravity. She dances swiftly and rhythmically like she's following a gossamer thin thread laid before her.
対抗馬は委員長くらいか。
The class president, Rika Hanabishi, has years of dancing experience under her belt, and although she's slightly inferior in technical terms, she does seem the more expressive of the two. Yeah, that's kind of a big thing with ballet. Like, a big thing at ballet is smiling, isn't it? And like Chidori seems like the kind of girl where smile doesn't meet the eyes most of the time.
門前の小僧の意見ってやつだがね。
Oof.
何小僧って。
The elder Sasaki twin sidles over, blinking, and I run my eyes over her leotard form from top to bottom.
お前の体型だよ。小僧って
Damn!
少
What?
年みたいだ
You
ね。
don't have to go destroy her like that!
ひどい。八重垣ちゃんだって同じく
Oh,
らいじゃん
shit!
か。
Shit! Alright! Alright! Strawberry got claws! Strawberry gonna fight back! I can't argue with that, not when it comes to my own little houses on the prairie. That's such good terminology for being flat-chested. However,
身長は？身長だよ。何センチだか言ってみろって。150。
that's pretty tiny.
はいダメ。私は保健室の養護教諭と仲が良くて。
Why is the school
クラス
nurse
の主
giving
だったやつらの
everybody?
体型は知ってるんだ。
Why is the school nurse giving anybody else's measurements? That seems real messed up.
嘘。お前140代だろ。が私は151センチだ。残念ながら明確な開きがあるのだよ。
Damn.
負けた。
Destroyed. I wouldn't have been able to argue if she'd said height didn't matter since I'm always sitting down. Unlike Takasaki, though, Ichigo has a modicum of tact, so all she does is grumble bitterly. I gaze enviously at my amitié partner.
ま、正確に難ありなんだ。これくらいは特技がなくちゃな。
I mutter.
特技ね。なんだよ。それじゃあ八重垣ちゃんはどんな特技を持っているのかね。
I mean, I can do most things.
今の話の流れだと私の性格が暗に悪いって言ってるよう
Oh,
なもんだぞ。
damn.
いや、そうは言ってないけどね。ま、自分でも悪いとは思うがね。んで、特技か。
I mull it over for a while. I come up with speed reading and lock picking. But compared to Takasaki's, they're not much to brag about. I don't know. I think lock picking is pretty
全部だ
cool.
よ。全部。
Like I can
私に
see
できないものはないね。
I can see Erika being one of those people that goes on YouTube and watches lock picking videos and is just super into it. Probably has her own collection of locks that she practices on, buys special locks to try and pick them. I think that's a fun little hobby. It's a fun skill to have. I boast.
本当に？今からバレエ踊れってのは無理だけどね。
Yeah, it'd be a little inconsiderate. And nobody knows how to just roll with this. And to be fair, I don't think I would either. I just, you stand there and you do that anime laugh where you're scratching the back of your head. Her expression clouds over. Perhaps she thinks she's hit a sore spot.
おいおい気にするなよ。ブラックジョークさ。お前も割と繊細なんだな。私的には繊細だよ。悪かったよ。
Despite what I say, I'm inclined to continue messing with her, and I bring up what I'd asked her sister for previously.
仲直り。
Yeah, give me a hug. Let's go. I love that she's just outwardly asking people for hugs. It's so good. Of course, Erika wants a little bit of affection every now and again. Give me a hug. She looks bewildered. Chuckling, I tell her it was just another joke, but she still goes ahead and does it. Oh. The warmth of her torso radiates through the thin fabric of her leotard, leaving me with a strange sensation. She has a particularly elevated body temperature of a child, and there's something soft and fragile about her. Get off me! People gonna think we gay! In the gay girl school! It's like, no, I'm not letting go. I'm just gonna enjoy this moment. She makes it sound as though, were it not for all the people around, she'd never want to let go. The thought almost makes me blush. I clear my throat and push her away with a hand to her delicate shoulder.
ともかく、あいつに負けてるってのは気に食わないな。なあ、お前にしか頼めないお願いってやつがあるんだが、聞いてくれるかい？別に構わないけど。
She leans in toward me with a somewhat uneasy look on her face, and I whisper my request into her ear. I feel on edge. The sun's rays are beating down mercilessly on me through the hall windows. The humid air caresses my neck with every push of my chair. The moment I think about where I'm headed, I feel like turning around again. The favor I asked of Sasaki. There was really only one thing that made me resort to that. Oh. That's all there is to it. While I may not care what randoms think of me, I can't stand the thought of being looked down on by my amitié partner. She's no stranger. Had the Sasaki sisters instigated it? No, I'd probably felt that way deep down already. I'd resolved to get myself a special skill to rival hers if it ever came to a showdown. That's what I'd decided. However, I'd arrived at my favor granted. But now that classes have finished for the day, my motivation has dropped off considerably. I guess I did make the request in the heat of the moment. Asking for tutoring feels both annoying and embarrassing in equal measure.
Oh,
I know who this is! As soon as I hear the familiar voice, the pull to just go home grows even stronger, and I drain my cup in one go. Just as I open my mouth to tell her that I'm just passing by. Well, you're in for it now! Overwhelmed by her manic enthusiasm, I find myself being pushed into the cooking club room without any say in the matter. Fantastic! Right. Thinking perhaps I'd claim cooking as my special skill to compete against my amitié partner's talents, I'd ask the elder Sasaki twin if I could have a trial day at the cooking club. However, I give the wok a shake and transfer the mapo tofu into a broad Chinese-style plate.
ダメだなこれは。一目見てとろみがないとわかる。
The degree of amusement in her tone irritates me.
僕と同じ程度の腕とはね。同輩同士仲良くやろうじゃないか。
We both fucking suck. This is gonna rock. Cute apron. We need a cute apron on Erika now. There is nobody I would rather be cooking with right now. Taken captive by the always troublesome Yatsushiro senpai, I find my silly notions about picking up a new skill scattered to the four winds.
そういうそっちも辛いだけなのが見て取れますよ。
And I'd been so proud of my creation.
これは痛いところを突かれたね。僕は料理が不得意なんだよ。そいつは意外ですね。
I knew she belonged to the cooking club. I'd heard that she only showed up from time to time, but I'd still assumed my shrewd upperclassman would have been a dab hand in the kitchen.
君の言いたいことはわかるよ。
Now, she probably just dabs in the kitchen. I think that she just kind of heard that wrong.
努力が無駄とは言わないが、いわゆる亀の隅というやつでね。
Maybe because I had such trouble with adding the dissolved potato starch, it's now separated from the tofu and solidified. Looking at my own mapo tofu, I can't exactly laugh at Yatsushiro senpai.
だが、我が師に仰いでハンバーグは作れるようになったんだ。大したものだろう。
I'm a big fan of Hamburg steak. Sounds like an awful lot of effort. I nod meekly, and Yatsushiro senpai flashes me a cheerful grin.
しかし、我が師、スオ君は教えるのがうまい。あいつから習ったんですか？ああ、そういえば料理部だったか。今日は図書委員の仕事でいないがね。料理の腕も大したものだ。そういえば、佐々木君たちもいないようだ。
Just us, baby. Hashtag team failure. Let's get it done. Goal for today. Just don't burn the kitchen down.
今日は来るなって言っておいたからな。
Thinking that I'd probably fail a bunch of times, I'd ask them to spare me the humiliation and stay away today. I'm too proud to have my weaknesses on display in front of acquaintances. Oh, you adorable little baby.
まあ、彼女たちが休みだったのは長情だったかな。こうして八重垣君を独り占めできるから。
You are wording it like that on purpose.
先輩って。
I mean,
そっちの毛があるんですか？
Is it not obvious?
そっちの毛とは？
Oh,
どういう質問かわからないな。笑えない冗談は冗談じゃないですよ。
Look at her down here, blushing like hell.
そうか。残念。君はスオ君の次に面白そうなんだがね。先輩は友人に順番をつけるタイプだったんですね。焼いているのかい？
I surreptitiously resist her hand as she tries to thread her fingers through mine. I can never tell if she's being serious or not. I couldn't resist that. If that was me in that situation, exactly. It was like, oh God, I'm done. That's it. It's over. I'm dead. That's it. She won. She lured me into her web and won literally in like 20 seconds.
僕はね、何を？スオ君の目に以前と同じような輝きが戻ったことがさ、僕にはできなかったの。だから感謝しているんだ。もう感謝は聞き飽きましたよ。
Well, when you do good deeds, sometimes people are gonna thank you for that. Sometimes they won't, and that's okay too. You can't always expect that. I tell her that the president and the Sasakis have already said the same, and so has she, in a roundabout way. She forces a smile and pulls away from me.
同じ話を繰り返してしまうとは
僕も年を取った。さあ、こいつを片付けたらもう一度作るとしよ
う。麻婆豆腐ばっかりで口の中がバカになっちまいそうだ。
初子貫徹というやつだぞ、八重垣くん。では交換庫だ。
We swap our mixtures and she happily takes a spoonful of my lumpy concoction. I'm gonna add that's gonna be like my next pickup line, is I'm gonna ask somebody if they want to take a spoonful of my lumpy concoction. I don't even like know how you interpret that, but I imagine if you interpret it in like the worst way imaginable, that is literally one of the worst things that you could say to somebody. But damn if I'm not gonna do it. That's not true. I probably won't do it. Bored of the regular old taste, I tried making it with sliced pork instead of the usual ground meat. I feel like I've managed a proper mapo tofu, especially with the wonderful fragrance of the scallions, which I added in at the end.
どれ？味見をしてやろう。
No sooner had she said this than she dips her spoon directly into the wok and scoops the steaming mixture into her mouth. Though I have to marvel at her asbestos mouth, it's her evaluation of my cooking that really interests me.
なかなかだ。今度は片栗粉がダマになっていない。上達したじゃないか。
I have a taste of it myself. The Shaoxing rice wine I'd added for a little seasoning enhances the overall flavor, and the outcome is one I can definitely be pleased with.
大したものだ。これなら特技に入れてもいいのかもしれないな。
は
あ。Aww. Although my motivation in coming here had been to acquire skills matching those of my amitié partner, when all's said and done, it might be better to accept that I'm not a natural chef, considering my many failed attempts at making mapo tofu.
どうした？せっかく成功したんだ。もっと喜んだらどうだね。僕なんかまたぞろ失敗だ。
Yatsushiro-senpai guffaws, but I'm painfully aware of the stares of the other club members.
体験入部でこんなに食材を使われちゃな。
There are the several attempts I made, plus Yatsushiro-senpai's on top of that. Trying to ignore their looks, I can't help but sigh. It's not like I can exactly refer to something I barely managed as a skill.
しかし、これだけの特訓で食べられるものを作るとは大したものだ。八重垣くんは家では食事を作っていたのかね？
Unless you knew her, you'd think she was being sarcastic. Cooking alongside you was the incentive. I sense that she's being self-deprecating.
うちでは包丁を触らせてもらえませんでしたよ。
Give Erika a knife! Give Erika a knife! I am hashtag team let Erika have a knife. Yatsushiro-senpai looks disheartened when she hears that.
うまくいったのは八代先輩と一緒に作れたからです。励みになった。
I try offering her some comfort.
八重垣くん。
Oh, wait! Wait! Do we have a win in the Yaigaki column?
自分は何というか、どうも考えすぎるたちで、量計算がきっちりできていないとダメなんです。
This is me cooking a lot of the time. I go crazy if I'm like not... If things are like a little off, like I have to find a way to turn my brain off. And try to go with instinct sometimes, and I'm real bad at doing that in the kitchen. I'd like to get better at it, but you know, you gotta cook. In order to do that, you've gotta, you know, practice by cooking food, and that requires, you know, money. And guess what? Inflation is a thing, so I'm not wasting food on instinct.
だから正確に調節している間に料理を失敗してしまった。
Okay, I have not ruined a dish in a very, 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 very long time. So I am at least a good enough cook to, like, if I mess something up, I can salvage it usually.
目分量ではなかったね。
でも八代先輩を見習って適当な分量でやってみたら成功したんです。
Aww.
先輩のおかげですよ。
I see, she says, and her flawless silver eyebrows knot. Was my compliment too convoluted?
ソクラテスは考えない生き方を否定した。だが、料理は哲学ではない。
Her cheerful smile back at last, I take a spoonful of her mapo tofu. It's certainly too spicy, and she's overdone the garlic, but the overall flavor comes down to personal taste.
ありがとう。
I resist the urge to gulp down some water and flash her my cat-like smile in response.
それでは、試食会を始めよう。
The other cooking club members all voice their agreement to Yatsushiro Senpai's proposition. Everyone samples each other's food and compares diligently, making notes as they go. As I watch them,
八代先輩の手前。
although I somehow managed to put together a successful plate of food, I can only conclude that the idea of having this be my special skill is a non-starter. It appears I don't have a natural aptitude for cooking, and I'm not as passionate about it as the rest of the club members either. You need at least one of the two to really excel.
おいしい。
I let out a small sigh as I bite into the Sichuan-style twice-cooked pork. Thinking perhaps I could take pride in it as a special skill, I peek into the choir club as they're practicing, but...
いやいやいやいや。
Nope. They say that if you like something, you'll do well at it. In my case, though, suddenly imagining myself actually up there singing with them, I end up voicing my vehement refusal out loud.
帰るか。
I mutter to myself, making a beeline back to the dorms. It's like, nope, done, out,
何かあったようですね。
finito. I snap back.
何のことですか？
Sister Basquiat stops washing my legs.
八重垣さんに何かあったのなんてすぐにわかります。教師なのですよ。
She smiles softly at me.
あまり顔に出ない方だと思っていたんですけどね。いいですか、八重垣さん。嘘をついてはいけません。競技としても。
You're gonna go to hell, Erika. And oh, it hurts her personally.
だが、嘘がうまいやつが。
I mean, yeah? I want to retort back, but not in the mood to try cracking jokes with Sister Basquiat. I merely nod vaguely.
それで何があったのですか？塞いだ顔をしていましたけれど。
I find myself instinctively patting my cheeks, wondering just how obviously I was pouting. Sister Basquiat elegantly covers her mouth with her hand to hide her smile.
聞かせていただけますか？
At her prompting, I tell her about my earlier conversation with the Sasakis and how it led me to try acquiring a special skill of my own. I leave out the part about how all this is related to Takasaki.
そうですか。
But Dahlia is really smart and she already knows that.
読書家ですし。それを特技とするのは違う気がするんです。趣味ならそうでしょうが、そもそも技とは違いますしね。
She furrows her brow over this difference in nuance and starts back on washing my legs. Her hands are creeping into dangerous territory, maybe because her mind's also wandering.
そうだ。なら朗読はどうかしら。
Recital? That sounds like a thing where I will have to be in front of a bunch of people at once, and that sounds very scary.
はい。
I'd assumed she understood why I didn't consider reading much of a skill, so I find myself questioning her rather frankly.
あら、聞いたことがないかしら。朗読なのだけど。
I'd do it if you were doing it too. It suddenly occurs to me that I may not have been firm enough. Maybe she didn't cotton on to the fact that I was turning her down.
バスキア教諭も付き合ってくれるなら。
I answer.
まあ、
Oh! And just like that, Erika has ensnared herself once more into something she was trying to worm her way out of.
なんて朗読とか子供への読み聞かせでしょ。あれは特技とは言いませんよね。
I don't know, I think that takes a good bit of talent. I think that that's something that's actually really hard to do.
どうしたんです？
I tilt my head as her shoulders droop in obvious dejection. Did I say something wrong?
一緒に学べると思ったのに。
Oh! Her whisper is so quiet that I can't quite catch what she's saying, and when I ask, she simply forces a smile.
長いスパンで考えてみますよ。
Aww. I leave it at that. Oh, she kind of afraid she accidentally hurt Dahlia's feelings. I'm wondering if like Dahlia is just kind of playing with her a little bit and just being like, "Oh, it's something I really wanted to do. Shucks, gosh darn it." Just trying to like, I feel like the more we talk to Dahlia, it's very much like she's trying to kind of force Erika into, not really force her, but she's nudging her more toward being integrated and with people her age and kind of opening up more and more and more you start seeing it's like, oh yeah, Dahlia, you put these two together as an amitié for a very, very specific reason. Singing. I wake sluggishly to find a faint but clear rhythm already worming its way into my sleeping brain. The window is slightly open due to the heat, and though it is wafting in a pleasantly cool breeze, along with a curious sound that you wouldn't even recognize as singing unless listening very closely.
熱心なやつだな。まったく。
As I rub sleepily at my eyes, I recall having gone to the chapel yesterday in my quest for a special skill of my own. I feel my cheeks flush hotly as I picture myself singing while wearing a cute uniform in the choir club.
やめだ、やめやめ。
I don't know, I think you kind of want to do it. I think you're kind of a little jealous. Not in a mean and bad way, but just jealous in a way that's just like you kind of want to try it, but you don't want to do it with her or while she's singing because you're afraid you'll sound bad. Hideously embarrassed by this image, I pull the covers up over my head and block out the singing from outside. It's hot and humid, but there's still a numbing drowsiness tugging at my brain. In the dark and quiet, it's not long before I fall back into a calm sleep. A cloud in the shape of a cat floats above the distant forest. The sky is a bright clear blue, and a large fluffy cloud forming the cat's head stands out in sharp relief against the ridgeline. That is a very weird thing to be seeing in a classroom, and y'all might have like a gas leak or something if that's something you're seeing. Today is going to be another hot one, I think, as I gaze out the window at the sun beating down relentlessly when I hear a voice.
今日は皆さんにお願いがあるの。
Sister Basquiat addresses the class after morning prayers. Turning forward to look at her, I see her smiling, both her hands clasped in front of her as though cradling some precious gem.
来週末に朗読劇があるのだけど、
A
やって
recitation?
みたいと思う人はいないかしら。
A bewildered silence falls over the classroom.
ダリア先生、それだけでは何をおっしゃっているのか。
The president raises her hand and asks for clarification on the class's behalf. Sister Basquiat claps her hands together, looking bashful.
そうね、そうだわ。朗読劇というのは朗読よ。八重垣さんには話したわよね。
はい。
She catches me off guard and I nod hurriedly, although the president still looks like she wants more of an explanation.
朗読劇は夏と冬の年に2度ほど行われる学院の行事なの。古くからある伝統のある行事なのよ。
Well, thanks for spoilers, Dahlia. Now I know that there's going to be a recital in the final volume. After hearing this, she finally seems satisfied and nods.
朗読はただ小説や詩歌を音読するものではないの。感情を込め、その言葉の意味を理解し、耳にしている相手へと響かせる。
Kind of like Rakugo, in a way.
聖書を読み解くためにも推奨されている。
But this is more of like a group thing, whereas Rakugo is a solo performance.
そうだったのですか。学院案内のパンフレットには記されていなかったので、何かと。
伝統のある行事だけれど、規模はそれほど大きくないから記されてなかったのではないかしら。この技能を収めていると、新職員や看護など就職する際にも有利なのよ。
Sister Basquiat's explanation has taken a relatively mundane turn, but the president is still nodding along, her braids shaking. She seems satisfied.
先生、来週末に開催するって話ですけど、それって全員参加なんですか？
いいえ、人数は特に決まってはいないの。何人でも参加できるわ。
Going by my classmates' whispers, the majority seem to find the idea interesting, but also a bit embarrassing. This is a school for respectable young ladies, after all, and there aren't many who are inclined to take the initiative and get up in front of an audience.
あ、でも何人でも大丈夫なのだけど、読む方が一つなの。だから役が多い場合、振り分けられるけれど。
She looks around the class.
一人で何役も演じられる場合は、一人で参加しても良いのよ。
Her eyes narrow as she smiles at us, realizing that this means we'll have to go up on stage with very few people. The chatter immediately tapers off.
あなたは立候補しないの？
What?
はあ？なんで私が？
Does this girl look like she's the one that wants to be up in front of anybody doing anything?
あなた本好きじゃない？
She's the glob glow gab galab after all. Takasaki is way off the mark. I turn to her saying, "You do it! You got like a really nice, pleasing voice." Keeping a wary eye on Sister Basquiat, I lower my voice.
お前がやれよ。いい声してるだろ。
She gives me a look of sudden astonishment.
バカじゃないの？
Damn, that wasn't very nice.
こっちが言いたいセリフだっての。
困ったわね。あ、そうだわ。この朗読劇は1年生だけでなく2年生とも合同なの。普段は触れ合えない上級生たちとも仲良くできるのよ。
Though she makes this addition cheerfully, the class is still hesitant.
まあ、そういう反応になるよな。
Back when we had the case of the disappearing bunnies, there were some students who felt they couldn't go play with the rabbits because the second years were in charge of them. It's one thing when you're members of a club where everyone shares the same interests, but they're probably intimidated dealing with complete strangers. Looking perplexed, Sister Basquiat claps her hands together as though she's had another flash of inspiration.
そうだわ。推薦してもらうことにしましょう。
Oh, nothing can go wrong here!
手を挙げやすいわよね。
Absolutely nothing can go wrong.
それは。
The president raises her voice to object to a proposal that, while far from malicious in intent, is deeply cruel.
ねえ、花火師さん、誰が良いかしら。
Alright, you fired the first shot. The president falls silent.
だったら。
Oh, my classmates turn to goggle at me when I raise my voice. It's not a bad feeling.
白羽を押すよ。
Oh,
本好きだ
wow!
し、図書委員だし、朗読くらいお手の物だ
I
と
was
思う
kind of
し。
thinking she was gonna go for Chidori, but okay. Good play. Good play. Yeah, she just like was looking down at her papers or whatever. She was paying no attention. Heard her name and snapped her head up so quick she almost broke her neck.
落ち着いたいい声だ。なあ、委員長。
She do be having a real nice calming voice. Not wrong.
スオさんならいいと思うけれど。 私は無理よ。そんな大役。
I'd recommended her thinking that this would be a perfect test run for her newfound optimism, but Shirahane is still Shirahane, of course.
そうそう、伝え忘れていたけれど、朗読劇で読む本は既存の作品でも
Oh, we can write our own
自分で作
story!
ったお話でもいいのよ。
I had this great idea for a story. It's called Rapunzel. Hear me out.
へえ、なら適任じゃん。白羽小説とか書いてそうだしさ。そんな書いてないわ。
I can't help but smile at how sweet she looks, on the verge of tears. The president and the Sasaki sisters seem to be of the same mind. I bet they're all happy to see the old Shirahane again, rather than the one pretending everything was fine.
以前、既存の作品を自分流にアレンジして朗読した生徒もいたわ。
アレンジってどういうことですか？
God, the little bounce animation they do, like with the Sasaki sisters, is kind of just perfect for them.
その時は、
Like, I can't see that working with anybody else.
モチーフはそのままに話の筋をところどころ変えていたの。面白かったわ。
だってさ、それくらいならできるんじゃね？
She regards me resentfully for a moment, but then...
既存の作品を手直しする。
Where you go? Put those little creative muscles to work. I'm sure you got it in you. She answers, her cheeks flushed bright red.
うまくかわしやがったな。
She stands up and gives a bow as everyone claps, then sits back down and hides her face.
よかったわね、八重垣さん。
そうですね。面白くなりそうだ。
白羽さんが脚本を書いてくれるのですもの。八重垣さんも頑張らないといけないわね。
What? Beg your pardon?
は？
白羽さんの脚本なら朗読劇に出るということでしょ？
She announces my involvement, feigning ignorance.
え？いや、違う。
What have you done?
ああ、そうだったんだ。だからスオちゃんがいいって推薦したんだね。
Shut up! You are not helping!
おい、なるほど。それなら
No, you're the sweet one! You are the best friend! You were supposed to throw me a lifeline! After the momentary commotion has died down,
楽しみだわ。お願いね、八重垣さん。
applause echoes through the classroom as though the president's words have sealed the deal. At this point, all I can do is hang my head in acquiescence.
ご愁傷様。
My condolences!
映画のスティングみたいだ。何？うまく騙された気分だよ。クソ。
God damn it! Wait, I can't say that in a holy school. She gives me a rare smile as I hang my head.
人を呪わば穴二つよ。
Damn. Damn. Again! Again! Erika just gonna spend this whole game getting dumpstered. She gloats.
ああ、そうかい。
Well then, let's just see about that. As the last claps peter out, I raise my hand.
穴はもう一つ残っている。
I give her my cat-like smile.
どうしました、八重垣さん。まさか辞退するのでは？
いえ、そうではなく、高崎さんも読み手として推薦したいのです。
What a perfect way! What a perfect way for her to integrate into the class and be best friends with everyone.
高崎さんをですか？
はい。私としても解除してくれるアミティがついていてくれると
laying it in now! Perfect! Love it. After putting her hand on her chin in thought for a moment, Sister Basquiat nods.
そうですね。 委員会や部にも参加していないようですし、時間は空い
She's
て
got
るでし
all
ょ
the
うしね。
time in the world to dedicate to this. So yeah, it's a perfect plan. With me already having cleared away any potential impediments to her involvement, Takasaki turns her irrigated gaze in my direction.
はい。
Damn. If I'm going down, I'm taking every one of you fuckers with me. All right, and that is where we are gonna call it for now. What a delightful little start to this chapter. We've got a recitation coming up. Erika's making some strides into like trying to find something that's uniquely her. Doesn't want to feel like she's fallen behind. It's a real good little journey, I feel, that everybody's going on. So this was fun. This was fun. So, of course, thanks again, everybody, for stopping by and spending your time. And we'll catch you next time. I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever. Bye. Bye.